What I'm about to share with you is the best online business to start in 2024. And I believe it's the quickest path to get to $10,000 per month. And just last month, my business made $14,000. And so I feel like I'm in a position where I am a beginner and I can really relate to starting an online business because I really started like 6 months ago. And just last month was the first month outside of my full time corporate job. And I made 14K in that month. And I expect to do similar numbers next month. And so I want to talk about kind of how I did this and also the model that I've been using. And if I was starting over 6 months later, exactly how I would structure everything and exactly how I would get to $10,000 a month again. And this is going to be really just unedited, completely raw. I have like very little notes here. I have a few words, and I'm just going to be going pretty much based on what I know and what I've done. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find something that you can sell that's over like $500, probably over like $1,000. And I see a lot of people make this mistake where they start selling these low ticket communities like $47 per month, $50 per month. And the problem with that is in order to make $10,000 with a $50 per month offer, you're going to have to sell it to like 100, 200 people. And that is a lot tougher to get 200 yeses than just getting a few yeses at a really high price. And so what you really need to do is create something that I call the transformation statement, which pretty much identifies who you help and how you help them. And you can write this down, which is I help blank go from blank to blank. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but your customers essentially have their current state and then their desired state. And your offer is the bridge between that gap that helps them get to their desired state. And you want to make the problem that you solve really, really painful. And actually, the higher the level of pain and the higher level of income somebody makes, the higher charge or the higher prices that you can actually charge. So, for example, imagine you have like this super wealthy entrepreneur. He's like, has $1 billion company, but he is going through like a struggle with his wife and he's on the brink of divorce, right? If the divorce happens, if the event occurs, then he's going to have to split all of his assets. He's going to have to give half of his assets to his wife. If he has $10 million in assets, that's like $5 million. And then if he has kids, it's going to cause a lot of emotional baggage. He might not be able to see his kids. And so if you have an offer that pretty much promises, hey, I help entrepreneurs not go through divorce, and you're able to really solve that pain, the ROI on that offer for him could be potentially $5 million because you're preventing him from splitting his assets in half. And so that is just one example, but essentially the higher the level of pain that somebody goes through that you can solve, the higher price you can charge. And you want to start off charging higher prices so that you only need a few yeses to get to that first 10K. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is what you want to do is you want to position yourself as somebody who's legit and somebody who is an authority on the topic and somebody who kind of knows what they're talking about, but you don't want to fake it and you don't want to lie about what you've done. And so one of the best ways to do this, in my opinion, is what I've done is by creating a community centered around the topic that you're teaching. So I essentially created a community. It's called Community Accelerator, and it teaches people how to monetize through community offers and how to build communities and use them to monetize their business online. And so that's what I do for my clients, which is I help them build and launch and scale paid community offers. And because I have a community on my own and I'm teaching this stuff, it really positions me as an authority in the topic. And people will DM me, they'll ask questions. And eventually, this community actually acts as some kind of lead magnet where people will go in there, they'll learn from me. I'll send them DMs, I'll message them and kind of nurture them. And then eventually, if they want to take the next step with me and they want to move forward and work one-on-one with me or work in a private Slack channel with me, they have that option to, and they're more likely to convert because they've already gotten a lot of value from me that I'm bringing to the community, on a daily basis. And I'm actually focusing a lot of my energy and my effort on growing this community as a lead pool, as a lead source, so that I can go in there, I can check who's in my community, and I can just kind of pull people out and then ascend them into a higher ticket service or offer that I offer. And so it's super easy to start a community in doing this. A lot of people used to do this on Facebook. But Facebook, personally, the platform is just super complicated. There's all these buttons, there's all these different management type of tools. And so I use school.com, and I actually have a free training for how you can use school.com to grow your free community as well. I'm going to put it in the description below. So if you want that free course that I made to help you grow your own community, which will funnel into your high ticket offer, then go down below and download it. And then the next thing is, you really want to have traffic, right? And so my two traffic sources are, one, Twitter, and two, YouTube organic. And then ultimately, I'm also doing some outreach, which is also considered traffic, right? Through emails, through DMs, through people who I think are potential customers. And what you want to do is you want to find people who you identified in your transformation statement who are a good fit that you can actually serve. And when you identify this person that you can serve and how you can help them, transform into their desired state, whether that's making more money, whether that's being healthier, whether that's having better relationships, you essentially pinpoint them out and you pull them up and you start asking questions and start bringing the conversation to light to try to understand if you can actually help them. And really what I've seen is, you see people like Iman Gadzhi, who scaled to $1 million a month just super quickly because he focused so much on generating leads from his organic content. And what you'll see with people like Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, and a lot of these really big successful online entrepreneurs is they are very good at online content marketing, and essentially they are bringing in leads to their business, and they already have an offer and they have a full content team. And so they're not having to really convince people and jump on sales calls and really hard sell their offer, because after somebody watches hours and binges different videos of your content, they're going to build up the trust, they're going to build up that relationship, and ultimately they're going to trust you more, and you're not going to have to convince them or hard sell them because they already know you through all the content that you built up. And that's really the power of content marketing. So that's the other thing. It's like you need to get traffic, and then you funnel that traffic into the free community, and then you pull people from that free community to see who's a good fit, and you give them a high ticket offer, and then they'll pay you a few $1,000s or $900 or more for whatever service that you have to offer. As you continue to do this, you just focus on growing that community, and you can do it through the organic content. I'm about to start running paid ads, and I'm going to break down exactly how I run paid ads just so that you can see how I'm doing it. And then you just nurture that community, and nurturing that community makes the conversion easier. It makes the value easier. If you don't have an offer as well, and you don't know what you're going to sell for thousands of dollars, you can actually use that community to get on what we call discovery calls. And discovery calls are essentially when you're jumping on calls with people and you're just asking them questions about their pain points, their desires, and you ask, the 5 whys, where you ask why 5 times so that you really get to the root cause or the root desire of the person. And after you talk to enough people on these discovery calls, what you'll notice is certain trends of desires and problems that everybody has. And that's what you actually craft your offer around. So get on calls and find out people's problems, and then write those down and think to yourself, like, how can I be the most useful to this person? How can I bring the most value to this person? And then just make them an offer. Make them an offer in the DMs, make them an offer in the call. And then, if you would do this eventually, and you keep massaging your offer, you keep talking to people, you keep, figuring out really what people want, and then giving it to them, they will pay you money. And I think this is definitely the certain best path to going to 10K a month. Like I said, this is kind of how I got to 10K a month. And it's what I'm doing right now to kind of grow and scale my business. So I hope that was somewhat valuable for you guys. I really appreciate the time. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.